Hey everyone, welcome to Watch and Carry. So today's video is going to be pretty quick. It's going to be talking about spring bars. So not a very exciting topic as far as watches go. But the reason I wanted to make this was I had a whole bunch of spring bars that I bought off of Amazon. I actually bought one of these kits here. And with my luck, of course, it fell. And all my spring bars went on the floor, and so I had to go about picking them up and then measuring them and putting them in what I thought at the time was the correct size. So the original way I would measure this is I simply took my ruler like you see here, and then I would measure on the millimeter side. So in this case we have a spring bar here, and this comes out to just about 18 millimeters. All right, and then I would put it in that slot for the 18 millimeter slot in my spring bar case. Well, this morning I lost the spring bar on this Casio 1300. I went to the spring bar case, picked up what I thought was an 18 millimeter, put it inside the watch, and this is kind of what happened. So we see here that this is 18, but if I put this inside the watch, see if I can grab this here for you. You can see the problem, right? Yes, it does fit within that 18 millimeter lug width of the watch. There's really not much for the spring bar to bite into. And that makes sense, right? When you're talking about lug width, or you're talking about strap width, which is the same thing, you're measuring from inside this lug to the inside of this lug. So it doesn't make sense to get a spring bar that's this exact size because you need it to be a little bit longer to bite into the little hole that's inside the lug, right? So after doing some research online, I found out that the correct way to measure a spring bar is actually, let's focus up here, is not from here to here, and it's not from inside the shaft to inside the shaft. The way you want to measure is from the end of the shaft to the end of the spring bar. So for example, if we put this back up to our ruler, we can see that this is actually about a 15 millimeter spring bar. Okay, now if I take this other spring bar that I have to the side here, and let's do that same correct method of measurement, you can see that this one is 15, 16, 17, about 18 millimeters. So let's try that on this Casio here. And you can see that we have a perfect fit inside. And from the factory, this watch has an 18 millimeter lug width, and that spring bar that you see right now is the one that came with the watch. So that's the correct way to measure the spring bar. At first I was confused. I was saying why, it would make sense to me why you would want to measure, from here. But why would you want to measure it all the way to the end of the spring? Why not just measure from here to here? My understanding was that these ends of the spring bar collapse completely into the shaft itself. But if we go ahead and push down on this spring bar, so I'm going to bring the camera over here. Let's focus up, and I'm going to push all the way down. You can see that there's still a little bit of that spring bar hanging out. And so that's why you want to measure it in that method that we discussed. So anyways, I hope you guys found that useful. I'm sure everybody else knew how to do that, but for me, I'm still kind of learning here with watches, so, learning as I go. Anyways, hope you guys found that useful. Have a great day.